Hi, everyone. We have amazing events planned for you today. I'm Karen Noe, and I'm so honored that Diane Arkenstone is with us, who will share her glorious music before we begin the welcome ceremony for Global Oneness Day. It's amazing how the universe works. Diane had received my newsletter right after my book, We Consciousness, was released, and you'll hear more about We Consciousness and oneness during today's programs. At the end of that particular newsletter, I asked for volunteers to help me spread the message of peace and oneness on our beautiful planet. And Diane responded very quickly that she'd love to share her music for this important cause. So here we are today. Composer, songwriter, and performer, Diane Arkenstone has excelled in many musical endeavors. Diane's rich musical background includes worldwide acclaim for her distinctive instrumental recordings released on her independent label, Neo Pacifica Recordings. The many genres of music she has released are Celtic, Middle Eastern, Native American, folk, and Americana, inspired by nature from growing up in the country. Her recordings have sold in the millions worldwide. She's reached the top 10 of Billboard's New Age chart, and she's had the insight to break out of the traditional recording business and release music independently on her own label. The foundation to all of this achievement has been her unflagging dedication to her musical muse, one which incorporates many indigenous influences, which she has studied and explored extensively. I am so excited that she's going to share her not yet released song with us today called World Ascending. Welcome, Diane.
Thank you, Karen, for that beautiful introduction. It's great to be here. Hello, everybody. Many blessings to us all.
Diane, can you tell us a little bit about the song World Ascending?
Yes, that song is about mankind's energy lifting in a more spiritual direction. Things seem to be in great chaos on the planet right now, but I think it's its last gasp as we start to ascend to a more spiritual unity on the planet. And that's what inspired me to write the song. And it's interesting about the song, I went in, I played dulcimer, it's a lap dulcimer, and I had the microphone set up in the studio, and I did one take, straight through, and went back and did the hand percussion and various instruments. But it was a one take with the dulcimer and vocals. I was very inspired.
Amazing, amazing. Do you have any words for our listeners about spreading the message of oneness and compassion in the world?
I have found for myself that being of great gratitude brings peace to me, which vibrates out into the world. And that is my best advice, is to come from a place of gratitude.
Beautiful, beautiful. Now, in just a moment, we're going to hear Diane's song, World Ascending. And I wanted to add here, just as we were getting this segment together, we wanted to find a video that would work perfectly with Diane's heavenly music. And as soon as we put that desire out to the universe, within a few short hours, Paul Ranke, a client and friend of mine, just happened to send me an amazing underwater video of him experiencing oneness while he was diving. And it was perfect for today. These are Paul's words to describe his video. He said, "I shot this sequence of thousands of yellowfin snappers gently swirling around me as I was diving near the Palawan Island in the Philippines. They seemed to accept my presence very quickly, and eventually we were all swimming together. I really felt like one of them and immediately thought of Karen's thoughts on we consciousness and oneness. Right away, I said, this is perfect. Let's share this with Diane's music. So with no further ado, here is Diane Arkenstone's soon-to-be released World Ascending. gorgeous. Thank you so much, Diane, for being with us today and sharing your beautiful music. How
Okay.
how can our listeners find you?
Well, my website, www.dianearkenstone.com, and I'm also on Twitter as Diane Arkenstone. Thank you for this honor, Karen. It's been lovely.
So much. And when is this going to be released, World Ascending?
I'm not sure yet. It might just be for this show.
Oh my goodness. Okay,
Yes.
we're honored. We're honored. And thank you to Paul Ranke for the video and Garth for putting it together. So let's begin Global Oneness Day's open ceremonies. Angel blessings to everybody. Namaste.
I'm Steve Farrell, the Worldwide Executive Director for Humanities Team, and welcome to Global Oneness Day 2018. It is great to be with you today. By the way, that was beautiful music. We'd like to thank Diane Arkenstone for that. I'm here with our opening ceremony special guest, Karen Noe. Karen, do you want to say hi real quick?
Hi, everyone. So glad to be here.
All right, and Karen is a Hay House author who wrote a book called We Consciousness. It's all about this crucially important message that we are all one with the divine, each other, and all of life. She was inspired to write this by Wayne Dyer from the afterlife and what she calls the We Guides. She's going to share her inspirations as we launch Global Oneness Day this year. You'll be hearing from Karen in just a moment. Also, Karen Noe is an important host for Global Oneness Day this year. Karen, I want to thank you for coming in as a host for many of the panels this year.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, awesome. Truly a pleasure to be that you're playing this key role with us this year. Thanks again. Our theme this year is living your life for the benefit of all. We naturally do this when we live as part of the one. We have an incredible day planned with over 12 hours of video programming and over 50 speakers who are part of 17 programs, beginning with this one. If possible, take the whole day off. You'll be glad you did. This program is free, and we're making available the entire 12-plus hour program for free. We're making it convenient for you to share with your friends, coworkers, family as well. We'll share more about that here during the day. A quick word about this day. We believe that you'll find this program to be very inspiring. The speakers are extraordinary, and they're freely giving of their time, but this day is about much more than just inspiration. Like Earth Day, we hope to catalyze real change year-round. In this case, our focus is on living as an emanation of the divine, as who we really are. Imagine all of the Earth's inhabitants, all of humanity, communing with the divine within and expressing our divinity out in the world with real love for each other. The earth, animal, and plant life, that's what this day is about. It's a call to action to live year-round as who we really are. When we leave our bodies, as Karen will share, it's easy to feel into our connection, our oneness. Global Oneness Day focuses on manifesting this now during this generation. This will change our relationships, the way we live in our home, our community, and in the world. Others will feel into this when we are together and will be invited to live as one in their own truth and authenticity. We'll create the world that we've dreamed about and envisioned. This year, to help us propel toward this vision, we're offering an 8-week program immediately following Global Oneness Day focused on embodying oneness through deep self-evolution. We'll share more about this during today's program. I'd like to thank all of the speakers, Global Oneness Day affiliate partners, my colleagues in Humanities Team, Karen Noe, and each of you. Together with all of you, we are making this day possible. I'd now like to invite our special guest, Karen Noe, to come in and share her inspirations.
Thank you, Steve, and thank you so much for letting me be a part of this wonderful event. For those of you who don't know me, I know Steve said a little bit about me. I'll just introduce myself. My name is Karen Noe, and I am a psychic medium and author of a book called We Consciousness, 33 Profound Truths for Inner and Outer Peace. 3 years ago, after Dr. Wayne Dyer made his transition, synchronistic events joined his family with me. And when I say synchronistic, they were indeed synchronistic. It began on a bus. I was on an author bus. I was at an event to speak about life after death for my publisher, Hay House. And a day before, they were doing an event for Dr. Dyer, a tribute to him. And I was in Orlando, Florida. I'm sitting on an author bus, and there was one seat available on the whole bus, and it happened to be next to mine. In walks Serena Dyer, sits down next to me, and we just started to talk. And I said, hi, my name's Karen Noe. And I asked her, I told her what I did. And I asked her if she received any signs from her dad, and to make sure to ask him for signs, because he's going to give you signs. He was loud in life, and he's even louder now that he made his transition, and so forth. But that was pretty much it the first time. So what happened was we went to the event, and after the event, for whatever reason, I felt very insignificant. And I have to share this story because it's very relevant to the story. And I said, I'm not going back on that bus. I'm going to walk back to the bus, and my favorite Hay House authors were on that bus, and Wayne Dyer's family. And I said, I'm not good enough. I'm insignificant. So I'm walking back to the hotel, and as I'm walking back, I'm saying, I'm insignificant. I'm insignificant. And that's when Wayne Dyer started to come through for the first time. And he said, get out of your own way. Get out of your own way. And I said, Wayne, if that's really you, you have to give me a without a doubt sign to let me know it's truly you. And I continued to walk. And I said, Wayne, how may I serve? And he said, you're already serving. And I said, fine, how may I serve more? So I went to the hotel room. And as I was in the hotel room, I felt something very itchy inside of my shirt. And I reached in to grab it. And somehow a sticker had attached itself to the inside of my shirt. And when I looked at it, my eyes bugged out of my face. It said W-E. I don't know if you could see that.
We can.
See that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And on the bottom of the sticker, it said Disney. And I had not been to Disney before that event. At that time, I didn't know about the we consciousness. So I thought it was Wayne, first letter, last letter of Wayne. Because oftentimes when I receive messages, they give me first letter, last letter of their name. And I felt him laugh. He said, is that good enough? I said, you bet. And to make a long story short, a few weeks after that, his family connected with me. They flew in from Florida, New Jersey for an appointment. And his other daughter, Sage, was in Manhattan, came to the appointment as well. So it was Serena, Sky, Sage, and his wife, Marceline. And he came through with very specific, important messages for each of them. Now, he's amazing. On my way to the appointment, a car cuts me off, and on the license plate, it said Dyer 1 on it. So I knew it was going to be a good reading. Anyway, he was connecting ever since for 2 years after that. And the first year after he started to connect with me, it was New Year's Eve, and I'm lying down. I'm trying to stay up for New Year's, but I couldn't because I was very tired. And as I was in that in-between state of consciousness, Wayne came to me for the first time directly to me instead of for his family. And he said, now's the time to do what you came on earth to do. And I immediately knew what that was, to promote peace on earth. And he said, that's right. And he said, you're going to be writing a book called The We Consciousness. And he was going to be joining forces with a group consciousness called the We Guides, in which he was going to be one of them. He was going to be joining forces with St. Francis of Assisi, angels, ascended masters, and himself. And when he was in that group consciousness, it would be hard to differentiate him from everyone else. So what is the We Consciousness? The We Consciousness is the interconnectivity of everyone and everything. And whatever one does to oneself or another, how it affects the whole. It talks about our divinity and the amazing power that we have within us. If we just could accept the power that we have, we could create amazing miracles in our lives and in the world as well. So that was it. The book was made, and right after the book was published, I asked Wayne and the We Guides to put it in the right hands. So, through synchronistic events, I received an email from a friend of mine, and she said, Karen, do you know Neil Donald Walsh and Steve Farrell are talking about your book, We Consciousness, on a webinar? And I said, no, really? So I was amazed because I love Neil Donald Walsh, and I researched it, and they were a part of Humanity's team. And Humanity's team is all about oneness, no coincidence. So I contacted Steve, and we connected. And we have done a couple of events together, and he asked me to do Global Oneness Day. And since we're both passionate about sharing the message of oneness to the world, I immediately accepted his offer, being excited to make a positive contribution to this important cause. So, as Steve stated earlier, today is a call to action to remember who we really are. Again, we are all one with everyone and everything. We are divine, we are love. Whatever we do to ourselves or others affects the whole. So if you want a peaceful world, it makes sense then to spread the love that you are unto all others. To become an instrument of peace, all you need to do is to remember who you are and fully grasp the fact that we are all connected to each other. Then you need to align your energy to the loving energy of your source. When you're resonating back to your true vibration, you'll be the peace that you wish to see in the world. So stay with us today for as many panels as you can. May each of us become a vehicle of love and service to all. And together, we could truly make a difference, and world peace will become a reality. Thank you, Steve.
Oh, wow. So beautiful. Karen, thank you for that. My goodness. Beautiful. So, gosh, let's just add a little bit to this. And thank you for stepping through that, beginning with this really surreal thing that happened where Wayne Dyer connected with you from the afterlife. So as we were sharing just before this program, this is not just some summit, is it? This is our Earth Day for an Awakened Humanity, and that we believe there's actually no more important message in the whole world right at this time in the Earth's evolution than this message, that we are all one.
Yes.
So why do we say that? Now, Karen, you put some beautiful words behind why we say that, but let's just add to that a little bit. When we live in this place of separation, you could call it the Darwin survival of the fittest place, that's often mental and in our head, and where we're just focused on bringing treasure and power and things back to our family, with our wife or husband and our kids. That's what's creating all of the dysfunction out in the world, right? Including our own dysfunction, where we don't sleep well at night, and where our day is full of all of this mental chatter, and there's just battery drawdown because our energy is taken down all day. Where by contrast, when we're really living this message that we're all one, we're going within. If we don't go within, we go without. So we're going within, we're connecting with the divine here in our heart energy place. We're also connecting with each other in animal and plant life. Karen has beautiful things that she shares about animal and plant life. So we'll get to those. And then we're living in, you could call the word presence, or spirit or God or the divine, but we're living in presence. And in presence, we're just in a beautiful place where we're at peace, and we can feel blessing, we can feel gratitude, we can feel, and where everything is within reach, all wisdom, all that we need. And there's also this boomerang effect where we're in service, which is what we naturally do when we're in presence. There are good things that we're putting out in the world, but good things are coming back to us, including prosperity in all of its forms that nurture us and our family. Karen, do you want to, again, you started us off so beautifully with what you shared. Do you want to just add a little bit here? And also, I know you want to share, you've got a beautiful prayer that we're going to bring into the program. You might share that as well. And a website where people can go to follow your work.
What I want to add to that is we are all connected, and we don't really feel that connection until we leave the physical body, because you're over there and I'm over here. So it looks like we're separate from each other. But you will feel that that interconnectivity very much so after you leave. And that's what Wayne Dyer was so excited to talk about, the afterlife, and so excited to talk about the we consciousness. So much so that when his family first came to see me, he said, I'm so excited to talk about the we consciousness. He said, would you like to hear that? Or would you like to hear personal messages? They all said personal messages, of course, because they wanted to know it was really him. And that's what he did. But what I'd like to add to that is many of us who are of service to everyone and everything, we have to remember we're just as significant as everyone else. As you heard before, I felt very insignificant, and that's not true. That's a disrespect to the divine within me. So we have to understand that we truly are all connected, but we are just as important as everyone else. if that makes sense.
Yes, it does. And that is such an important message because Louise Hay, from Hay House, when she was alive, this was the primary message she shared, because it's so often people don't want to bring that same care and love and attention back to themselves. So thank you for bringing that in. Really important. Okay, so, and thank you again, Karen, and we are so delighted to have you be here as a host for Global Oneness Day this year. So an invitation to each of you. First, I hope that you've got friends or family or coworkers there sitting with you, and if you don't, it's the beginning of the day. So if you like the idea, pick up the phone and call friends or coworkers, family, to come and join you so that you can talk about the program and talk about ways that you can live it authentically in your own way. Okay, so just an invitation there. Watch all of the panels. I think you'll find there's a great deal of passion and wisdom that's going to be shared. I'll use the word self-select. If you really resonate with the messages, we're inviting you to self-select and really live that way, where you embody it and express it uniquely in your own way. There's all kinds of fruit that comes back to you individually for living the messages. And very importantly, you're also going to help accelerate this awakening, this shift, this transformation that's going on out in the world. It's happening now, but it needs our assistance. So it's fruitful to live this way, and we're also helping to transform the collective, our beautiful planet. So thanks again for joining us. I want to make sure we didn't get Karen Noe's website. Karen, can you share your website real quick?
Sure, my website is KarenNoe.com. That's KarenNoe.com.
Okay, and her book, We Consciousness, you can order it from Amazon or from your local bookstore. Man, this is a book for the library, and I encourage you to order the book. It's beautiful, and all the themes of Global Oneness Day are in this book. So on to our next Global Oneness Day program, and our first panel is called Divine Presence, and it's with Marianne Williamson, Thomas Hubel, and Joan Borisenko. I'm going to be moderating the panel. Don't miss it. It's an extraordinary panel, and I know you'll enjoy it and get a lot out of it. Before we begin, we're going to be silent for 10 seconds to center ourselves in oneness with the divine and each other. We call this our oneness moment. We're going to begin our oneness moment now.
I can see tears, I see a choice, love or fear. What do you choose? I can see peace, or I can see war. I can see sunshine, or I can see a storm. What do you choose? No, I choose to love where freedom flies from my heart, where the light keeps shining. And I choose to feel the whole world crying for the strength that we can rise above. I choose love. I can see greed, I can see caring, or poverty. So what do you choose? I can see gardens, I can see bones, I can see life or death coming on strong.